Hi guys, welcome to the Audi S5. Just gonna give you a in-depth review on what the car's like to drive, how it feels, how it sounds, just, you know, everyday use, you know, and just giving you a bit of a review on the engine and things like that. It's a 3-litre V6, pushing out around about 350 bhp with torque going up to around about 369 foot-pounds, so that's quite good. That's an upgrade on when it used to be a coupe on the A4. So moving on to the S5, this version is obviously a little bit more refined, a bit more power, a bit more torque. My initial feelings is really quite smooth. As you know, I own the M2 and it is a bit stiff. It is stiffer than this for sure. I tell you what though, the Quattro in this car really gives you confidence. And pushing the car on the limit, you'd get more confidence with the Quattro obviously than you would with a car that has rear wheel drive. I think the bias is with this front wheel to back wheel, I think it's a 60-40, 60% of the power going to the back, 40% of the power going to the front. So you know, that's a good thing that you have that, so I guess you can have some type of fun. Wouldn't let you go crazy, but still nevertheless you can really push it on the edge, and you don't have to be the best driver in the world because you've got the luxury of having a Quattro, especially in these type of conditions. The roads are slippery, bit greasy, so with the 4-wheel drive setup, definitely a good thing to have. Obviously there are other comparisons out there. You've got the M440i and you've got the Mercedes AMG C43, so those two cars would be a direct comparison for the S5. My initial thoughts on the interior is really nice, looks really nice. You've got the brushed aluminium on the dash there, and I think just everything, the cluster, the instrument cluster, everything is right there. It's really nice. The steering wheel with a flat bottom is a really nice addition, and I love the seats. I really do love the seats with the diamond shaped stitching with the Napa leather. Really nice setup here, guys. Definitely I would say looks a lot better than the BMW setup. You know, as you know, I've already said in my videos that the BMW setup is very minimal, so totally different setup inside. And I guess you'd most probably get the same with the Merc as well, to be fair, especially with their new A-Class coming out. The setups in that look out of this world. I think where I'm used to driving my M2, it seemed like you're always on the edge with that car, like the feel, like it's quite skittish, like it just, you know, like at any moment the back wheels are just gonna start spinning. But I guess I'm used to that in that car, hence getting into the S5 gives you that just a little change of feel really. And I mean in the sense that I could most probably floor it in this car and feel safer than I could floor it in my car and feel safe. This will give you abundance of confidence on the edge. I love the dash cluster, looks really nice with the colors. I think with the BMW they're sticking to their traditional orange. I know with the newer cars they're changing that very slightly. But moving on to power differences, I guess it's the way that the transmission hooks up with the engine. And in this car you've got the 8-speed system, which is really good. The revs, you know, you're not going to really be in high revs like with the manual. In my car, you know, even on the motorway in 6th gear the revs are a lot higher, therefore it's a bit juicy on the petrol. But with the Audi it just seems really settled, really calm. And at that. As soon as I put my foot down, just quickly eats up the road. Fantastic bit of kit. Just hear that V6 pushing out the back there. Sounds really nice. Seating position, I guess with the BMWs, where I'm used to sitting quite low, I do feel a bit higher in the Audi. I guess that's just because of just the positioning of the seats, where I'm just used to being really quite down in my car, just a little bit higher up. So yeah, that's a little bit different for me in that sense. When I get into that Mercedes C43, I'll see if it's any different, to be fair. Fantastic bit of kit, guys. Just eats up the road. Yeah, the sport mode, it is fantastic. Wow. I guess, guys, where I'm used to using a manual transmission, you just don't have to with the Audi. Oh wow, just that little stretch there really pushed it on. Yeah, you can just feel the luxury in this car. It's, you know, it sounds luxurious. Yeah, so guys, those are the, you know, those are the differences, I guess, with this Audi S5. I think we're running on a ZF transmission in the S5, which is smooth. It's not a DCT. I think with the DCT, where it constantly shoves you in your back, the way the Audi is delivering that power is a lot more progressive, a lot more smoother. You know, it gives you a pull rather than a shunt in the back, which you get from the DCT. And that's not me putting down the DCT. I think the DCT is a really good transmission. I just think with the ZF 8 gears, it's a lot more progressive, and it doesn't just rev up, and it's not as violent. The only thing I will say is that the throttle response is like slightly delayed, you know, like half a second, you know, and then that power starts to come in waves. So maybe there's a little bit, you know, lacking for me. Deep down inside, you know, I think about the Mercedes C43, and I just expect it to be better than the M440 and the S5. I don't know why. I think with the new one, you know, it looks really cool. But again, that's for me to actually go and review, sit down and give you an update on. I think what you get with the BMW is driving position, power going to the back. You know, you can have lots of fun. What I do like about BMW, and you know, the same for my car, at the press of a button, I can open up my exhaust valves. With the Audi, it's a lot to do with where is the transmission in sport and you're on the actual move. You know, I can be stationary in my car, pull it into sport plus, give it a bit on the accelerator, and you're gonna hear the pops going at the back. Like, you don't really get that from this car from a stationary point. You know, you have to be driving around to get those pops. So a little bit, you know, disappointed there, but otherwise, you know, just, you know, I think it's a great setup, and I really think that the S5 really looks nice. With all the changes that they've done, obviously it's got a little bit boxier, you know, the back wheel arches are a little bit more flared out, you know, and the front, you know, to accommodate that four-wheel drive setup. I'm quite impressed with the interior, you know, and I guess I shouldn't be shocked. Audi are really good at making fantastic interiors, as is Mercedes. I think BMW do need to step it up a little bit more, just to bring those interiors in line with the competition. Guys, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give me any comments in the box beneath. I'd really appreciate it for the subscription, because you know it takes a lot of time to make these videos, a lot of editing time, a lot of manpower, you know, and it's not easy getting hold of these type of cars. You know, it takes a lot of work. So I'm working behind the scenes on sorting that out for the future, but you know, I'm gonna keep on pushing really hard to give you guys honest, organic reviews on cars like this. You know, I'm a working class man, and I know there's lots of working class guys out there and ladies who, you know, want to know from that point of view what these cars are like, you know. So yeah, please stay tuned, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and I'll be right back at you. Cheers guys.